Hi, and welcome back to It's America Beauty. My name is Brandy, and my channel is based on utilizing what you have versus buying new. This does not mean I never buy new. I go through spurts where I do really good and I don't buy anything new, and then I go through spurts where not so much. And today I am doing my pan challenge updates for May of 2024, and this is through May 31st, what I've used, what's been emptied, etc. I do mine a little bit differently. First of all, this intro will be repeated on all three of my videos because I explain this every single time. I have two autoimmune diseases that truly make things that are normal for other people laborious for me. I work a full-time job that's between 50 and 60 hours a week. And then I also have a family, husband, etc. So I appreciate your patience while I duplicate these. The only other thing I want to mention is there are three challenges. There is 24 and 24, 12 by 7, 4, and a dead to me. Each one of my pans have different goals with them. So not all of my things am I trying to finish or hit pan, etc. Some items I just want to show use, so I'm not wasting the product. Other items I'm trying to decide if I want to declutter it, things like that. And then lastly, some things are meant to be used to completion. So if you like pan challenges, if you like beauty reviews, I hope you'll like, share, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. I don't ever upload on a schedule. I'm pretty random due to my work schedule and home schedule. But if you want to get notified of my upload, you would have to check that. So let's get started on my pan challenges for May of 2024. Thank you again for sitting through that intro. So today we are doing the first pan challenge, which is the largest and typically the longest video. This is 24 and 24. So this one has some huge changes in this. There's at least 5 things I believe that are moving out and new things are moving in. So this is probably one of the more exciting videos I've had in a while because there's been a lot of consistency in my pan challenge and I haven't moved things out. So first thing we're going to do is Bronze Borealis by Pat McGrath. This is a quad she released quite some time ago. I have been mainly panning this maroon shade in the corner. I use it almost every single day. I leave it open on the other ones. If I want to use them, I use them. If I don't, I don't. But it is one that they're so expensive. I mean, I think I just saw the other day they're like $60 something for a quad from her now, and that's just crazy to me. I won't be buying that brand anymore. I've had customer service issues and product issues. So I'm not buying it anymore, but I paid a lot of money for these products, so I do want to get my use out of them. So, and I forgot to mention, I actually have my hair braided because I was at something called Movement. It's a Detroit Techno Festival. It runs 3 days. We only went Saturday, but it was 80 degrees and my hair is almost to my butt. So I did have my girlfriend braid it back so that I didn't have to worry about it. And whenever she braids my hair, I usually can keep them in for about a week. And so I do. So that's why my hair looks like this. Next is the Pat McGrath blush in Nymphet, and this is a beautiful blush. Works perfect 99% of the time. I enjoy it. We are seeing some disruption in the roses. If you look, it is getting definitely some use. Next is the Mario Cream Bronzer, and this is one that is coming out of it now. I am not enjoying this. I have to make myself use it every single time. So I haven't decided if I'm going to throw it away or give it to a friend. It is, I think, technically expired. No, it's 18 months. Okay, so this is technically expired. I have a girlfriend who's into makeup like I am, and she may want it or she may not. I'm going to leave it open to her. So I'm going to put that in my declutters for right now, and then her and I can make a decision on how she feels comfortable with that. In its place, I am going to put my Charlotte Tilbury, this is the Flawless Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. There is a slight dip in this already. I'm not sure if it'll pick up on camera because it's such a slight dip, but there is a slight dip. So I've been really into finishing powder lately. I actually didn't use any today, but I have been using the, what brand is that? LYS. I've been using the LYS finishing powder lately. Absolutely loving it. I forgot how good finishing powder can make your skin look. So that one switched out. I am going to leave the 2 Wayne Gas palettes that I'm panning in here for now. I am not going to leave these in here the entire year. I'm pretty positive, but I am leaving there now. So we have the blush and contour for super fair skin. And even for me, this is somewhat difficult to use. I truly have to layer it and like go over it to have it show up. And then there is this blush, and this too is for very fair skin. I don't think he even has these anymore, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's really re-releasing some of them. I'm not sure. But this one is for very fair skin. It does work good. It does look pretty. This actually shows up darker than it looks in the pan. The opposite is true for the bronzers. So for now, I am going to leave those in. One I am pulling out. This is the Laura Mercier Blurring Primer. I am now below halfway on this. So this is already expired. This is already done and I don't love it. So this is getting decluttered. In its place, we are going to put my Dior. This is the 001 pink shade. This one, as I just dug my nail all in it, this one is not my favorite pink blush. I actually love this tone, but this one does not function as well as I think it should for the amount of money. And if you look, I have used this a lot. Like there is a lot of wear on that blush. I've used it enough to know what I like and don't like, so I'm just trying to get use out of it because of the price before I declutter. Whenever it's a brand that is the same, I try to put them together. This is the Kevyn Aucoin contour. This is in shade light. This is the sculpting powder, like that. And they do have multiple shades. I have a huge dip in this now, and I am panning this to a pan. I don't care if I complete it because I love it. I'll keep it, but I am trying to get to a pan. The concealer, on the other hand, which is called the Sensuous Skin Enhancer. I love this formula for the under eye, but you can't use it anywhere else because it can cause creasing and lines depending on where you put it. And it can cause, like it's just too moisturizing in other areas, but also it is, oxidizes. It turns orange as you wear it. So unfortunately, I'm just trying to get some use out of it. It was expensive. I did get it for a Black Friday sale, so I didn't pay full price, but it is expensive. So I want to make sure I'm getting my use out of it. Next is the Shiseido foundation. I have a new line on it finally. I kept forgetting before. So this one is one that I already love. It's a really good foundation if you're mature or having really dry skin. And it's an absolute pleasure for me to use. I resist using it sometimes because I want to use my other items. I already know I like that. So sometimes getting all my pan uses out of it are difficult, but it's not because of the product. It's because of me wanting to use other items I'm not got in my pan. Next is the Dose of Colors concealer. This is staying in. This is technically expired. I'm just trying to get as much use as I can before the consistency changes, etc. Next is the Becca color corrector. This one I am just cruising right through it. If you look this time, I have the pan in the middle, but then I also have a whole area. I've been using one side. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to pan one side till it's gone and then move over until it's gone. I don't think I'll have any issue completing this year. It's literally one of my favorite products that I use. Next is the Say bronzer. This one is well past expired. I think at least 18 months old, and I think it has a 12-month shelf life. So it's at least 6 months old, and it's a cream product, but it has begun to change consistency. As you can see, I have a nice little dip in it. This is not quite as dark or as warm as it appears in the pan. It's a little warmer than I'd prefer for my skin, but not terribly. And it is now so far expired, and because it's changing, I am going to declutter this. And I'm just glad I got some use out of it before I wasted it, because that's a lot of product to waste. So just glad I got some use out of it. In its place, I am going to put the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Film Star Bronze and Glow. The contour has been used a ton and has a pretty good dip in it. So I am going, or she calls it a bronzer. It's cool tone, so it could, for me, it could be either one, but I am going to work on that side only. I'm not worried about the highlight shade. I can use that if I want, but I'm not counting, tracking anything on that. It's always going to be on that side. So I just like to be clear about what I'm panning and what my goals are. That one I would love to hit pan on, to be quite honest. That is probably at least 4 or 5 years old, at least, because I think we're in our other house. We've been here 2 years. So the other house we were at for 4 years. So sometime in the last 6 years that was bought. It's a big window, 4 to 6 years. So the next item we are going to do is the Natasha Super Glow. I did not take this out this month, even though I said I might. I thought I'm just going to keep trying to use as much of this as I can. This used to be my favorite highlighter, and I've just fallen out of love with it. It's not the formula. It's the, I guess it is the formula, but it's not because it's a bad product. It's because of how my preferences have changed about highlighter. I still love highlighter. I still wear highlighter, but I like a certain formula of highlighter, and that's not it. Next is the Mykonos blush, and it does look like this. This is by Buxom. This is the primer infused blushes. This is a corally peach shade, and I am starting to get some disruption on the surface, but not a lot. It's a very silky formula, so you don't typically see the use on the surface like you do with the more flatly pressed ones. Next is the Jaclyn Hill. This is a loose highlighter. I don't expect to finish this anytime soon. It does look like that. It's basically like a pale nude shade. It has a gold tinge to it, but it's so pale, it's not really a gold. So Next is the KVD Shade and Light. This is one of my favorite, much like the Kevin and Kwan. I love this contour, and we are starting to get a huge amount of disruption. I'm only panning that shade right there, and it's getting a huge amount of disruption, and it's showing that I use it regularly, which is what I wanted. I let it sit for years, even though I loved it. I was always trying the next newest thing and not utilizing what I have right in front of me. So that is one of the things that I did. I actually left one out earlier in the list. I forgot about my Hourglass ambient lighting palette. Like, my brain went dead right there. If you look, there is a huge pan in that now. So the middle shade I'm painting right now, and your right, my left is going to be next. Come on, camera. Hopefully that picked up. My autofocus has been crazy the last few times I filmed. I film on a Canon 80D, and I've always had impeccable focus, and then all of a sudden now it's like weird. I don't know what's happening with it. Next is the Charlotte Tilbury bronzers. I have the cream and the powder in this challenge, and the cream, I already had a relatively big dip in it, but it's getting even bigger. I'm gonna see if I can get it to focus to show you. There we go. If you look compared to that on the rest of it, like, it's a huge dip. It's gonna show pan anytime now. That's my main goal. This was very pricey, and it is an enjoyable product to use, so I will continue using it even once I hit pan. But once I hit pan, I may consider taking it out of the challenge. I haven't decided fully yet. And then the cream, or the powder, looks like this. This is too light for me, but 2 is too dark. This is shade 1. And this is what we're looking at for disruption. So not a lot, although this too is like a silky formula, so you don't always see those right away. Next is the Milk Concealer. This is one that I am just starting. I'm hoping I can get it to pick up. You're starting to see hole in the top. It's settling below the milk lines, so it's about to here, and that's a huge deal because I previously could not see anything. Just the January to now continued use, I believe, is what that is, and that's staying in. I enjoy that concealer and I want to keep using it, maybe even finish it if I can. I don't know that I will, but I'm open to that possibility. Next is the Huda concealer. This is obviously not my shade, not anywhere near my shade. I got this between an exchange and a gift card and other stuff. I paid about $9 for this, so I felt stupid exchanging it. I should have, because I'm trying to utilize as much as I can, but it's not very easy. Next is the e.l.f. Halo Glow, and if you look, it is very much about gone. I am scraping the sides every time I do my makeup, trying to get the rest of it. I am going to keep utilizing this until literally it's like I can't get anything out of it, but I am taking it out of the challenge because I've got to the point that I feel comfortable, and it's an e.l.f. product. Plus, I'm going to keep using it in the background. So keep an eye on my empties next month. I have a feeling it'll be next month. Then next is the NARS. This is the light reflecting. We are right there for usage, and you might be able to see, like, literally there's, get my face out of there. Come on, camera. There is, you can see the foundation actually separating by that line. So this is literally one of my absolute favorite foundations. I've enjoyed using it. I am loving it. I have no problem with it. I am open to completing this. If I do, no big deal. Then next is, did I forget? I did. e.l.f. I forgot to actually tell you the replacement. So in place of e.l.f.'s Halo Glow, I am putting in my Mothership 6 by Pat McGrath. It does look like this. This was my first Mothership I ever got. And again, I don't purchase from her brand anymore, so I'm trying to utilize and get the money's worth of my products out of them. So you're going to see Pat McGrath and my pan challenges rotating in and out probably for the rest of my life, because it will take that long to use all of them. But my goal is just use in this. And then I would like to see maybe one of the neutral shades and one of the shimmer metallic shades to get concentrated on until I use it first, because I haven't used it in a while. I want to try some things out and decide. So my next time when I update you, I will let you know what ones I'm concentrating on. Then the next one, and it's the last one, is the e.l.f. Power Grip with niacinamide. It does look like this. If you look, I've used, this was brand new when I started using it last month. I think I started it in April. Yes, I put it in April. So I've used about half of it in that time frame. I am decluttering this. I do not enjoy this product at all. I used to love the Power Grip by Milk. That one's not really my favorite anymore either. So this is one I'm going to stop buying grippy primers. They're just not for me. I have very dry skin, and I think that's part of it. I think they're more made for oily skin. So this one I actually already have a home for. A friend at work has asked for it. So I'm gonna give that to her. And in its place, I am going to put a Sephora blush. This is called Love Child. This sold out like repeatedly a couple years ago, so I wanted it. And then I never really got into it because it was more of a peachy coral. Because I have some other peach corals I'm working on, I thought it would be great to add a companion one and get some use out of this. If I decide I don't like it, if things aren't going well, I absolutely will declutter it. So that is my update for May 2024 for my 24 and 24 pan. Don't forget to come back and see the 12x74 and the Dead to Me challenges. Those will be up next. Those two videos are much shorter. Every month I'm tempted to combine them, but I just leave them separate. That way, if you're in the mood for a short video, it's a little bit easier. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.